Okay.
Okay, you said
Are my-
guitar, not car.
I'm wondering if my hearing is really jacked, or did you say something? I think I'm hearing car,
Yes.
but I heard guitar.
Yeah, I said if it was a guitar,
Oh,
I
guitar.
would have said.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, yeah.
Yes.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello.
Yes, thanks for being our audience tonight.
Absolutely.
Do I have a motion for the approval of the agenda?
I make a motion, we approve the agenda for February 5th, 2025. And Rick,
I have the approval of the minutes for January 22nd.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for January 22nd, 2025 as written.
Do I have a second for that?
Second.
Favor say aye. Bills for January of 2025.
I went over the bills, everything was correct. We had a total expenditure of $124,060.74. Total revenue was $188,198.28, which was listed in black, $64,137.54.
It's nothing really.
And with that, I make a motion to pay the bills.
All in favor say aye. There are no public comments. And Josh.
Good evening. So we've had a few suspicious circumstances, done a little bit of traffic. Had an aggravated assault, reckless endangerment. Still have several DFS cases, which means I've been doing a lot of MDTs. Been in district court and circuit court. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, Hannah, Logan.
She'll be here very soon.
I was gonna say, she said she's coming.
Yes, sir. So I don't have a whole lot to report. The post frame building that we were told to look into up at the landfill, we've been having a heck of a time with that. We're not getting a lot of feedback from that. Morton came in with a bid of like 300 and some $1,000. Cleary was like 200 and some thousand. And so we found plans to do it through Menards and it's like 50,000. And so we're gonna try and get a couple of contractors and see if we can get bids to just get that and then put that up. So that would fall under the landfill closure, so we'd still only be subjected to the 10%, but I will keep you updated as that moves along. The only other thing, I have just a real quick PowerPoint to show you, and I'm sure that Anna will also probably discuss this. Let's see. Maybe. Okay, well, I can just show it on here because I haven't pulled up, but this will just give you a quick, there she is. And
You want to have that deal first, or do you want to do that?
that's, I'll just show you this real quick. It's not very long. It's only a few slides here, but so what it is, what did you slide to me? Oh, never mind. Ryan Shilriff called me and he wanted to discuss the west edge of town, just outside of the, so there used to be those couple of residences that were in town that have now been de-annexed and they're all in the county. Well, we currently supply all the utilities to those properties. And there was someone, I think it's Anderson's, but it's back behind Anderson Carpet. And they wanted to know if we could just create a line that says west of that line is all Wirelex and then east of that sign is all ours. And so we'd provide utilities for that. And I said, I don't have a problem with that. I don't see why anyone else would have a problem with that. And so he was gonna reach out to Anna, which I know he did, and so what we were looking at, who provides power and utilities to the property north of Anderson Carpet. And so we were gonna suggest the line that I was just explaining to you, and this is what that would look like. So that's the main area right there. I don't know if my cursor, yeah. So the property they're wanting to put up is like right in here. It's just a shop that they want to put power to. And so we discussed creating a line that would extend just along the edge of that field. That's Greenwald's field there. And then anything up from that, east of that would be ours. And then anything down from that west would be Wirelex. And so I just wanted to keep you guys in the loops, make sure that you guys were okay with that, what you thought of it. We think this would just kind of clear up kind of the gray area that we have right now. And we're not losing anything or gaining anything really, and same with them. And so it'd just be more of a legality of clearing it up.
Correct. A clarification of the service areas for both Lingle and for Wireless. Because previously those were Lingle, but some of those parcels have been de-annexed, so then they become county, which would put them back into Wireless service area. But what Logan and Ryan both explained to me is that it would take quite a bit of trenching on Wireless behalf to provide service to this new shed. Whereas for our service area, it would just be a short amount. And so it would be easier for Lingle to provide the service. And just clearing that up so we have a definitive line for where Lingle is willing to serve and then where Wireless service begins.
Is this a shed next to that duplex?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It'd be straight north of it.
So we have to communicate with county then on.
So great question. I talked with Ryan Shilriff about that and he said, honestly, he checked with Benchmark to see if there were any survey records or anything that they had of record, and they don't. And if we were like a new town or establishing a new service area, we would have to talk to the commission for that. But here where we are already have been providing service here, they have been providing service to their area. It's really just between our two entities. It'd be like a simple memorandum of agreement, just so that Lingle knows where our service area is and Wireless knows where their service area is. We don't have to present it to the commission or to anybody else. It's just so that we have clear communication between our two entities.
And I know orienting it this way is a little confusing, but if you on the left side of this,
For a duplex.
correct, yeah. So on the left side of the screen, you've got the canal right there, or not the canal, but the Lucerne ditch. And then the right side, you've got the highway. Basically, that would be the framed out area. Everything outside of that would go to Wireless. And then the rest of it inside of that area would go to us. It would just meet up with where we currently have the agreements and jurisdiction.
So basically, all you're doing is clarification if something should come to fold later.
Correct.
Well, and it.
They're
to-
wanting to put a shed in there, so it's just clarifying who would get service to that shed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
yes.
But if someone else down the road wants to put in a tiny house somewhere over there, then we'll have a clear answer for them of who's providing service.
Correct. I think it's a good deal.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And then that's all I had.
Logan,
Yeah. Are we gonna do a garden this year?
Yes, Jeremy and I have been over there cleaning it up. Someone went in there and broke all the rings on one of the shutters, so we got new snap rings and we have to get some new screws and put that back together, but we'll get that all put back together and it'll be good. And then Lindy Ellis had approached me about putting raised garden beds outside of the shop, just to the north of the shop there where there's that grass and then the substation off to the west. And I think what we're gonna do, we talked about either taking the tractor tires when we get the new ones, just taking those tractor tires out and using those for raised garden beds. Or we've got more material, we can just build some too and put them out there, so. We'll probably put a couple garden beds out there. And then I know Lindy still has some ideas with downtown putting some planters and stuff out, but I don't know what all she's wanting to do there, and I don't wanna speak for her, not
Yeah.
knowing.
I need to get her the amount in
Um,
which the town has for that too.
sorry, I didn't even.
You're fine.
So are you working on a game plan on the use of the, geodome?
Yes, we've already pretty well got that put together. We've got a little bit more weeding left to do, and then we'll bring in some compost and then dirt. We'll have to get some topsoil, but that's it, and then that'll be ready, and then I think what we'll do is just a person can claim a section of it, and we'll just do that for now, because a lot of the people that were in favor of this are now telling me that they don't want to do it because of the railroad tracks. So the railroad tracks are dangerous, that's what I'm being told. So,
Like they don't wanna walk across them to get. to the
Correct.
gym.
yeah. So I'm just,
I asked if we could ask some of the younger families that are stay-at-home moms in that area for education purposes for their kids and stuff like that.
yeah, and we can do that, and Jeremy and I have actually been talking about it quite a bit with what we want to do with that, because we've talked about just planning the whole thing and doing it, and then including, I mean, I've had a couple people approach me with daycares and things like that to use it as a field day. And so we've talked about doing that too, and just having them come along and we kind of give them a little class on what we're doing and going that route, but we have thought of that. I don't know who else I would need to talk to. I've talked to, like I say, probably a dozen people around town about it, but we've got some different ideas, but if people want to rent it, they can. If they want to do something like that, we can. It's pretty open and we've got plenty of space.
If you're gonna use the word rented. or you charge-
No. No,
So my next thought on that was, are you gonna do a community garden then after that, when it starts producing? What did you?
yeah, that's the plan, is to have a community garden once it's all done.
Thank you.
You bet.
Very much.
Miss Anna.
Hello. So this past month, Keisha and I worked on some individuals who had out-of-state tickets who have not paid, and when they received an order to appear for court, no-showed twice. And so she prepared demand letters to send to them, that had nice, strong language that if you don't pay in full, we will suspend your driver's license in Wyoming.
It's actually per this, it's a
State
state,
statute.
it's state document too.
And so we sent those out via certified mail and regular mail. She said she has not received payment from those individuals yet.
Do you have a number, how many?
I have 3. that I'll be sending to this, to YDOT either the end of this week or next week. And it just suspends their license. And then it'll be suspended until they pay. So. It is the only way we get out of state funds if they don't pay them, so.
Thank you.
Takes years sometimes, but. That's what we do.
And then I worked with Logan and Wirelick discussing this, and then I'll put together a memorandum of agreement for Wirelick to review. And then I'll present it to Micah to sign.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Not much going on around our part of the world either. We had 8 ambulance, 2 fire calls last week or last month. I don't know, other than that. That's it. Kind of keeping a close eye on some of the Senate bills. I know the property tax one, I don't know any of us know how it's gonna roll out, but that's got our fire service people in the county pretty nervous, but yeah, it could be detrimental, but anyways.
Rich?
Yes, the Red Cross licensed trainer provider agreement has been approved by the Red Cross, so that's ready to go. Next question is, who do you want to advertise for the pool manager or the assistant manager? We do that in February, that's when we did it last. Sure. Okay, because I'm thinking, if I can, get that in the newspaper, 12th and 19th of February. Be this afternoon.
Rich, could we excuse me, and I can't talk tonight. Could we advertise for our summer helper also during that time?
Same time, yeah.
That way it's
Do you wanna do
all,
that with the managers, or do you wanna do that when we do the lifeguards?
when do you usually
We
do the
separate it
lifeguards?
About a month or
I
so,
think what we'll do first are the managers, and then we can.
manager, assistant manager.
Yeah, the lifeguards and the summer help at the same time.
Okay,
It's about
yeah,
a
we
month
could do that,
difference.
okay.
April. I should give.
Was it April or, it was April
That's,
or
I would
March or
think so,
April?
yeah.
We did it in March.
And then interviewed in April,
Yeah, they're
cause we did February,
gonna come work for us.
interview March for managers, March newspaper interview in April for lifeguards.
Yep.
Which I think worked out pretty well.
But it did, I think it worked better than waiting until May.
Well, and you don't wanna go too early too, so I think it was,
I think she's looking some training that's earlier.
So we need to do for the lifeguards now?
No. What we're planning will work. We
Okay.
just don't want to go.
No, we don't want to go in later. Yeah, especially if we have to. I think when they were going later before, it was causing problems.
Thank you, Rich.
I agree.
Okay, I would do that.
That's it?
That's all I have.
Anything else for Rich? Thank you. I don't know if you any cancel item.
I mean,
Kathy?
let me get through.
Motion to adjourn.
Make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Adjourn.